So it's day 3. I didn't record a video at the end of the night last night because I was pretty much exhausted. Jen is feeling better. We have come to the park, and we just finished a trail. So there she is right there. She's a little tuckered, but doing much better. A lot of winds yesterday, which I'm really happy about. First thing in the morning, she drank. She felt immediately better. Talked to the vet, and they cleared her to have food. So we gave her a little bit of chicken, which she annihilated, and she didn't vomit. So an hour later, we gave her a little bit more, and she's been doing much better overall from that perspective. And then, we took her for a walk yesterday in the same place. So, and she did really well. We didn't go all the way through the whole trail because it's pretty long. Good girl. Good girl.
Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. It's okay. It's okay. Come here. Come here. Come here. She just saw another set of dogs, so super excited. But we took her for a walk on the trail, and she met another dog and behaved pretty well. She was super excited to see it. And the owner, one of the owners asked if they could touch her, and I asked them to stand still and hold their hand out, and they did. She went right on up and licked their hand and let them pet her, and wasn't aggressive at all, so that was good. And then of course she was able to walk around and stuff. Well, we got back to the house. She was super excited to see Noctis, who's the corgi, and so much to the point where she tried to jump over the kitchen counter and climb on top of her crate to go and get to him. And we were a little bit afraid at first, but we've been keeping her lead on to make sure that she doesn't that we can separate them if they start to fight. So she did let me pet her head, and she had let me pet most of her all the way down to about her mid-back, which is the furthest she's let me pet. And she did let one of us, my daughter had come over to help out, and it was also my pug's birthday yesterday, so but she came over and she did let my daughter touch her paw, which was a bonus. And then we did quite a lot. Yesterday she also encountered a couple of bicyclists. Didn't run after them, didn't do anything. She just sat and just tracked them with her eyes, so that was good. Sit, Jen. Good girl. Good sit. Good sit. She looks majestic. Jen, what are you doing? Just majestic. And then a couple of other things that happened was around lunchtime we took her for a walk, and we brought the corgi along with us because he's the most even disposition out of all the dogs. Like hyper, but a good disposition. And we did the walk past each other, and they walked past each other, and they kind of stopped and glanced at each other and then just moved along. So we did that a few times, and then we decided to walk next to each other about 6 to 8 feet apart. And then so we did that, and they did really well. They walked all the way. We walked pretty far. It was probably about a mile and a half one way and then a mile and a half back. But they did really well. They they actually stopped and sniffed in a lot of the same places, and then she didn't nip at him for getting too close, and he didn't nip at her. So it was really good. And at one point, she actually even tried to herd him over to the side because he was getting a little too into the street. So, just really good overall. What else? We did, and then yesterday evening, we were running, decided to run some errands. So I took my pug and the corgi with me, and while we were running errands, my friend was leading her around the house, just kind of on her lead, but letting her sniff and kind of get acclimated to the area. And she's very, very intrigued by the cat. The cat is not having any of it, so, which is hilarious. But she did really well there, and then he said she just laid down and waited by the door for me to get back, and when I got back, she was super excited to see me. She's eating really well, and definitely getting a lot of her energy back. We saw a rabbit in the park here yesterday, and I feel like she damn near ripped my arm out just trying to to go get it. So definitely a good thing. And one of the other bonuses is that yesterday I got to take some personal time away from the dogs and just go rock climbing with some friends for an hour. And that was really good for me mentally, so I feel much better today. And then still some areas of concern, like Disney, my pug, is still being a little bit of aggressive towards her. Just nothing like, not snarling, but just barking, and we still think it's fear barking. I did talk to the vet, and we've been wrapping him in the Thunder shirt, and using the anti-anxiety collar. But if he doesn't calm down, they're thinking he might need Prozac. So we'll see what happens. It was a little bit less yesterday than it was today. And I think that kind of helped that my eldest daughter was there, and she held him and like babied him a little bit, and that kind of soothed him down. And then of course we put on his favorite documentary because it was his birthday. So as soon as that came on, he just laid down and just stared at the TV. It's called Untamed Romania, so if anybody's interested, it's on Netflix. I am not sponsored by Netflix, so but that's still an area of concern for me. I really want to, I know it's going to take time, and to at least get to the point where like they just vaguely tolerate each other, even if they don't love each other outright. I don't expect them to cuddle. But then my other concern is like what she's going to do when I have to go back into the office full time. I'm happy that I kind of work for a company that's pretty flexible, and so and the office is not far from my house, like maybe 10-15 minute drive. So at the worst case scenario, I can at least come back on my lunch breaks to take her for a short walk and stuff. I know my pug will just lay there all day, every day till the cows come home. He's a hardcore napper. But I'm concerned about, Jen being a husky, and she's a working dog and needs a lot of exercise. And then, of course, the corgi, Noctis, needing some exercise. So if anyone has any tips, who own huskies or corgis, that they want to recommend on how to handle it when I go back to work in the office, that'd be great. But for right now, it's been going okay, working at home. It's a bit of a transition period, and I keep asking myself if I'm ever going to get on like some sort of routine or schedule with these guys. that I'll be able to, you know, succeed at this. You know, my work's been pretty cool. They've been very understanding and supportive, which is great. I know a lot of people don't have that ability, or that level of support from a company that they work for. So I'm really glad that I have that. But I don't want to take too hard of an advantage of it. Like, I want to get on a routine with these guys as quickly as I possibly can and, get them to a healthier place mentally, hopefully. But of course, every once in a while, I'm like, what have I done and what am I doing with my life? So, thank you for listening to this. This is kind of shorter, a lot more positives today. So, I'll keep you guys updated.